I'm Caitlin and welcome back to the Lit Review. Today we're going to be talking about February's prompt for the Book Covered Book Club. And if you're new here, the Book Covered Book Club is my book club where we read any book that we like to fit the prompt of the month. You can read as many as you'd like or as few as one. Any of that counts, and we're picking our reads of the month based on the book cover. That's what we're up to today. There is an amazing Discord that I will link down below. It's like a really small community of people who just like chat about book covers and the stuff that they're reading. I've already gotten some fantastic recs this year from the crew in the Discord, so shout out to all of you for showing up there. Y'all are sharing your photos, which I love to see. We also have a story graph challenge if that's more your speed. So you can kind of complete it there. You'll see also all the prompts well in advance on that story graph challenge. And as always, you can tag me in your posts if you post on Instagram, and you can use the hashtag #BookCoveredBookClub to tag all of your stuff. I also have some Instagram templates that are listed in my profile if you'd like to show off your stuff there. It's a lot of fun. So happy you're here. But today, we're going to be talking about February's prompt, which is a color. So in the Book Covered Book Club, we like to kind of focus up on like three kind of types of prompts. It's either a color, an item, or a thing that is consistently on book covers, or like a general trend or theme in, book cover design. And this month it's a color. So the color is Periwinkle. Very specifically, the color of the year from 2022 was very Peri, but there are some really cool things that came out in last year, in the years before, that are in my backlist, and that's what this video is going to be about today. It's going to be 10 options that I am pulling that are want to reads or I have read from my shelf that fit the very Peri or Periwinkle prompt for February. As always with the Book Covered Book Club, you don't have to read what I'm reading. It's all about what you'd like to read, and however much you'd like to read is welcome. Any amount of the color or item or trend is also a-okay for you to check off on this book club journey. So just have fun with it. Like, truly just have fun with it, and let me know in the comments what you plan on reading. I have 10 options. Most of them are gonna be like me putting a picture up somewhere on the screen because I still don't know where some of my books are. I will give you the title, the author, and maybe a little bit of a summary, but I'm going to try not to go too hard on that so that it doesn't turn into a very long video, because it is, after all, mostly about the book cover here. But the first thing I'm going to recommend to you is a graphic novel, because I think it's a short month in February. Sometimes you just want a short, cozy, comforting read. And it is also Black History Month, which is why I really highly encourage you check out Wash Day Diaries by Jamila Rouser. It is a very cute slice of life narrative of 4 female friends. So if you like books about female friendships, highly recommend this one. It came out last year and the colors are stunning. Like, the color palette of this cover is what caught my eye initially, and the art style throughout has that very similar pastel, dreamy palette, and the characters are amazing. The aesthetic is gorgeous. Yeah, please give this a go, and it's a quick and easy and heartfelt read. This one is also a graphic novel. I believe this is a completed webtoon comic as well. And so I picked this one up recently and may give this a go this month if I'm feeling a little, like I need a little pick-me-up. So this is Crumbs by Danny Sterling. Danny Sterling, maybe? Not entirely sure if I'm saying that person's name correctly. But look how cute this cover is. And definitely got some Periwinkle stuff going on here between these two tones. But this definitely counts for Periwinkle. It's very cute. A little thick, but I'm looking forward to it. Next up, we have The Accidental Pinup by Danielle Jackson. The Periwinkle definitely comes up here in this like gorgeous sunset background, and it's all over the back as well. I love this cover so much. This is a romance. So the main character is a boudoir photographer who kind of gets the contract of her life with her friend's lingerie company, but a twist of fate has her in front of the camera instead of behind it, and the new photographer that they have kind of doing the shoot, there's like some really intense tension between the two of them. So I love this as a premise. It sounds super original, and the cover's really pretty, and it's definitely got the Periwinkle I need. So I think this is a good option. So Partners in Crime by Alicia Rye is another excellent example. You get some of the periwinkle kind of like in this mid and then darker purple tones here. But this is like set in Vegas with a bit of like heist energy or like on the road running from the mafia danger energy from what I gather on the back. This is actually normally lives on my priority shelf because I would love to read this, as does the Accidental Pinup, by the way. So hopefully I'll be able to get to this either this month or sometime soon, but really looking forward to this one. And another romance pick, even though it's technically like kind of past season because this is a kind of Christmassy or holiday romance, I believe. The Kiss Are Ones for Me by Alison Cochrane is a sapphic love story with some fake dating, but not in the way you'd expect because one of the main characters is fake dating the brother of the other main character, but there's some natural tension between the two, and they have definitely met before. So this just sounds like a really fun, kitschy read, and I don't care that it's a Christmas book. I can and will read this whenever. But this is like a really intense form of periwinkle or very peri, so like this could also work, and it's very clearly on the cover. So I think this is an easy win if you're interested. So I know I own this one, but I legitimately just don't know where. I have unpacked all of my books, but I have not organized them well because my goal is to actually rebuild bookshelves in a pretty major way. So I'm not sure when I'm actually going to do that, but for right now, my books are just a little scattered and unorganized. But Blood Like Magic by Lascelles Sambury is on my TBR, and I do own a physical copy of it. And the cover is gorgeous. Like the cover is so pretty and has a lot of those gorgeous like blue, purple, periwinkle tones into it. And this is a YA fantasy, like really cool magic system, it sounds like. So I'm hoping that this one would be a good fit. Another one that I know I own, I just can't find it, is The Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels by India Holton. So this one has gotten a lot of hype and I would very much like to read it. I feel like I've almost missed the hype train on it, which I don't mind. I actually kind of like missing the hype train on this. I know there are at least 2 other books in this series. This is the first in the series and it just looks cute. It's a fantasy historical meld, but the cover's really grabbing, and the cover is actually what got me to pick up this book in the bookstore, because the color palette, which obviously includes periwinkle and like lavender and really nice saturated colors, but also just like the wisteria around the border. It's just very pretty as a cover, and it also, if I remember correctly, has like that soft matte touch that I just love. So highly recommend this based on the cover alone, but I hear good things. This next one, I don't actually know too much on because it's on my TBR, but I don't own it. And that is Super Adjacent by Crystal Sestari. So it just is something I randomly found on Goodreads a while ago that sounded intriguing to me. And I believe it's a YA. And I would very much like to check it out from my library at some point, but it is a novel about superheroes and living in a world of superheroes, and kind of like, I believe there is a bit of a love story or a crush happening with in the superhero space. But yeah, I know superheroes. It looks really cute. The cartoon cover, very adorable, and like there's a lot of different shades and tones of purple in here, so I think you could kind of make this work for very peri, even if it's not like as obvious as some of the other covers that we've picked up here today. This is one of the other ones that I have read and really, really enjoyed. I read this maybe last year, maybe 2 years ago. I can't remember, but I really enjoyed it when I read it, and that is Pet by Akwaeke Emezi. This was a book that was a mix of being really captivated by the cover as an initial read for me, and then I remember Kaylani is actually the reason I picked up this book, because Kaylani from Kaylani Simply Me like loved it and really spoke very highly of her experience reading it, and that's what pushed me over into reading Pet, and I'm so glad I did. It was my first Akwaeke Emezi read, and the gorgeousness of the book matches the gorgeousness of the cover. Let me just say that to you right now. That's not always true here at the Book Covered Book Club, but it was for this one. It is a really, also another like really nice tiny novel. So if you're looking for something fairly quick and engaging, but that still fits the prompt for February, Pet's another great choice. I know for sure I'll be trying to read this one because I need to read it for Litland, and that is How Moon Fuentes Fell in Love with the Universe by Raquel Vasquez Gilliand. So a lot of gorgeous purple tones in this book cover, but I think where we get into Periwinkle is actually in Moon's skin tone on the cover, because it's just like this really gorgeous monotone cover with the exception of the awards sticker. I have some mixed feelings about when book covers do this, but that's probably a topic for another video. Maybe that'll be a prompt next year, is something with an awards sticker on the cover. Oh, actually, that's kind of a fun idea. Anyway, I digress. I do that a lot here. Really excited about this. I was technically supposed to try to read this in January, but I needed to roll it over into February, and it worked out great because it means I get to read this gorgeous book, and it's a YA. It's gonna be a nice, easy go, and it has to do with, it's like got sister relationships, it's got celebrity influencer topics, as well as a dose of romance. So I think this will be a fun one to pick up for me for the Book Covered Book Club. Let me know if any of you have read this in the comments, because I feel like this is one that I just like kept seeing around at like Target, which is where I initially picked this up, and then I don't really see it talked about that much. So I'm just kind of curious of what people's thoughts are on this book. So those are just 10 options that you could potentially use for February's prompt at the Book Covered Book Club. Very Perry or Periwinkle. There's obviously so many books out there. I know there are already some great suggestions in the Discord that have already introduced me to books that I have never heard of before, but these are all just books from my backlist or from my want to read TBR. So hopefully you'll have fun exploring yours. And again, as always with this book club, you can use your own TBR. You can use it as an excuse to buy a new book if you really want to, but I also highly encourage you to, just use your local library. You can still pick a book based on the cover if you're an audiobook reader or an ebook reader. So anybody here is welcome to participate. I hope you have fun with this month's prompt. As always, thank you for spending time with me. I hope you have a fantastic reading day or night, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Hold on, girl, now wait just a minute. I've got something to say, you should hear it. Oh, I'm happy to make time for your feelings, but you have to admit I already do. Let's just break it down.